Mermaids fit naturally into an island environment, so they are of course a part of the Sims 4 island living expansion. Mermaid is probably the easiest occult form to get, but I still have a few things to share with you about them, in particular a rundown of their powers. We'll look at everything from calling Shy Cthulhu to how you can remove Mermaid from your sim. To become a mermaid, head to the reward store and buy a mermatic kelp for 500 satisfaction, a crazy low price. These can also be acquired in the cave on Muapulim and gathered while scuba diving for seashells or treasure. Eat the kelp and you'll get a strange sensations mullet calling you to the sea. If you enter the water within the next 24 hours, your sim will turn into a mermaid. On land, you'll turn into a normal sim, while in the water you have fins, as that's pretty much what a mermaid is. But you'll swim faster than a sim with level 10 fitness is able. Your hygiene stat turns into hydration, a meter reflecting how dried out your nasty scales are, because you don't care about hygiene now, and I don't see you preening. You can cast spells that use this hydration as a sort of mana. You can get better at singing twice as fast too, apparently. The main thing with a mermaid is to manage hydration, which can be done in a bathtub at home or by entering a body of water. Hydration regenerates very quickly, and mermaids can sleep out on the water on their backs. Your spells available depends in a small way on what packs you have installed, but it only comes down to seasons. With seasons, mermaids are able to call a few types of weather, which may vary based on the time of year. Simply click your sims and they'll cast a spell in spot. Warning though, my mermaid was scared of thunderstorms, yours is likely too. But hey, it's likely a larger purpose for the Storm Chaser reward trait. Mermaids gain one powerful ability called Siren's Call that will lure a sim into the water, where your sim will look into their eyes, then dash into the abyss, pulling them under. Whatever happens down there, it must be swell, because you come back with your stats replenished. You cannot use this ability if your sim is good, apparently, although I didn't test it. Mermaids also have a series of lullabies they can sing that influence mood. There are two nice kinds and two mean kinds. Based on the names, it's fairly clear which are which, but the question one is the odd one out. What isn't obvious about these is that Inspiring removes uncomfortable while adding an inspired mullet, and Charmers removes embarrassed while adding flirty. These are particularly useful as embarrassed often comes up with failed romantic interactions. In short, mermaids get what they want. They can also be jerks though, given their mean ones also remove a positive. Aegeans takes off focused and adds stressed, while Knights takes off energized and adds sad. Oh, I see you're happy and energetic. Let me sing you a song about how your dog died. Two more interesting powers are available. Mermaid's Kiss, which is almost always successful, yet gives a happy buff without touching romance at all, evidently. It says something about being able to swim deeper, but I haven't got to test that much yet. Aquatic Lure is another spell. This one is cast on a fishing spot and the canoes, which is a nice touch. Using Lure on a spot will increase the odds fish will be caught by making them more likely than trash and treasure. At the same time, it makes you fish as if you're 2 levels higher. That's to say, it's powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Mermaids can either help a fisherman or be a badass themselves. Mermaids get an ability that lets them call a special blue dolphin just about anywhere, giving them a shortcut to dolphin friendship. Sims can become soulmates to dolphins and will be happy for several hours after a visit with their ocean friends. The last spell is Summon Ocean Threat, which I think is the biggest hope of killing something, but doesn't seem to do anything reliably. Sims get pulled under by something big, but I say let's go a bit darker and let mermaids smite their enemies with the big Cthulhu pet or whatever is down there. So you get all this power for only 500 satisfaction. What's the downside? Probably not being able to use boats and skis without a weird changing routine. Other than that, I can think of nothing. You can remove mermaid by eating another kelp. This will give you a mullet, and then eating a second one will remove mermaid entirely. Since it takes 2, this does mean mermaids can eat them to use the mullets they grant, just don't eat 2 until the buff runs off. So, mermaids are not vampires. You are given everything on a platter and won't even build up to getting those powers. I'd rather we get to explore and pick from a tree, have several more useful powers, and the pack should have included things like that given the price tag. At the same time, there's not as many of the spells that are useful. I wish the developers didn't give mood management spells to almost every powerful thing in the game. I'd rather see more interesting and unique things like Siren's Call and Aquatic Lure. I guess this is both a guide and a review of Mermaids now, but that's how I feel about the whole thing and think people need to be buying this if they must have Sulani, or they'll be a bit disappointed in how quickly they burn through the content. Mermaids are great fishermen or helpers to fishermen, and they're also fantastic conservationists as they can do well on dives and get around to sea debris quickly. Well, let me know your thoughts on mermaids and give us your support if you think we deserve it. Just pointing out the option. Have a great launch weekend, everyone, and I'll be back with more on conservation. I'm also going to do a big overview of the pack if the idea holds up.